Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now today it's just going to be a quick video. Life's just been so chaotic recently that I haven't really had the time to sit down and plan and create some videos, but I really wanted to talk about this because it's so important. Before I get into today's topic, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Now, today's topic I want to talk about is all about fireworks night. Now, it's actually today, the date of fireworks night, the 5th of November. And occasionally you might be able to hear, I bet they're not going to go off now that I've mentioned it, but occasionally you'll be able to hear fireworks going off. Now, I haven't opened my curtains to check where they're coming from, but it does sound like the direction of my garden. You might also occasionally be able to hear next door's dog barking his head off. That is because he is very stressed out because, not he, she. I do know their dog. She is very stressed out because she hates fireworks just as much as I do. Now, for an autistic person, fireworks night can be a really horrible time. I always like to joke and say I hibernate this time of year because fireworks go off, and for me, as an autistic person that has sensory differences, some of my sensory differences are very heightened compared to a neurotypical person. Now, in terms of fireworks, this means that any noise that perhaps might seem normal in volume to the average person will be a lot more heightened for me, and I know that this is the case for many autistic people. I actually find a lot of loud noises physically painful. Now, one way that sensory differences can play out in autistic people is that it can cause them distress and it can cause them physical pain. Now, loud, stark noises such as fireworks, cars revving their engines, balloons popping, gunshots going off, all of those sorts of things cause me physical pain. Now, this is why I hate fireworks night, because of course a firework is a loud, stark noise. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the look of fireworks, but I can't stand the noise of fireworks. Now, let's talk about the origin of fireworks night. Now, I'm sure many of you will know the story of where fireworks night came from, but I'm just going to read it to you because I can't remember it off the top of my head. So, the tradition began in 1605 when a group of English Catholics led by Robert Catesby plotted to blow up King James I and the Houses of Parliament. Frustrated by the king's harsh treatment of their faith, they smuggled 36 barrels of gunpowder into a cellar beneath Parliament. Their plan failed when an anonymous letter warned the authorities. In the early hours of 5th of November, Guy Fawkes, the man guarding the explosives, was discovered and arrested. After torture and interrogation, he and his fellow plotters were executed. Now, Londoners celebrate the king's survival by lighting bonfires that very night, hence the name Bonfire Night. The following year, Parliament made 5th of November an official day of Thanksgiving. Over time, people began burning effigies of Guy Fawkes, the Guy, and setting off fireworks to symbolise the gunpowder that never exploded. Now, I actually find this really interesting, and one thing that I've noticed in that whole story is the fact that the gunpowder never exploded. So, tell me this, why are we then celebrating an explosion that didn't happen by making loads of explosions? To me, that doesn't make sense. To me, if you're celebrating something that didn't go off, you should not set anything off. Surely? Anyway, it really baffles me. But that is the story of Guy Fawkes night, bonfire night, whatever you want to call it, fireworks night. And autistic people can really struggle at this time of year because of the noise. Now, a lot of people, unfortunately, in the society, think to themselves, well, I don't know an autistic person directly, so why should I change what I'm doing for them? Well, actually, if you think about the statistics, there are so many undiagnosed autistic people, whether that's people that know they're autistic and they haven't disclosed it, or whether they are yet to find out that they are autistic. You probably know someone that is autistic without even realising it. And actually, even if you don't know someone that's autistic, if you know that it's going to be upsetting them or causing them distress, why would you put them through that? Someone else that really can struggle with fireworks night, or should I say something else, is dogs. Now, dogs and autistic people are very similar in some ways, and this is what it says about dogs, because dogs also suffer with very loud noises. They can become stressed and anxious because of it. And yes, dogs have feelings too. So this is what the internet says about dogs and fireworks. Dogs have a much more acute sense of hearing than humans, allowing them to hear sounds at frequencies that are inaudible to us. Fireworks produce loud, sudden noises that can reach up to 190 decibels. That's so loud, which can be overwhelming and frightening for dogs. The sharp pop of fireworks does not resemble any natural sound they are accustomed to, leading to confusion and fear. And a lot of dogs can become distressed because of the noise of fireworks. I mean, literally no more than 10 minutes ago, so many fireworks were going off. I kept jumping, next door's dog was barking. It was honestly not a scene you wanted to be a part of. And it's really sad to me that people don't look at that and go, okay, maybe there's something we can do about it. Now, I understand that people want to celebrate fireworks night and Guy Fawkes night, but I also feel like it's so many years down the line that people now don't necessarily remember what we're doing it for, and they do it for fun. And they do it to make this big display of everything. But actually, when you go to these fireworks displays and, you know, these fun fairs and things, there's not often a lot of the history displayed or spoken about. It's become such this spectacle that we forget actually why we're celebrating this thing. And like I said, we're celebrating an explosion not going off. So why are we then setting off explosions? It really baffles me. Now, obviously, I'm not expecting everyone to completely just stop having fireworks during the year. I understand why people want to set them off. However, there is something you can do to help bring change and accommodation for all neurodivergent people and your little furry friends that will just help them be able to enjoy the day more and feel a lot more calm. And this is silent fireworks. Now, I heard about these a couple years back and I think they're great. Like I said before, I absolutely love the look of fireworks. I think they're so pretty. All the colours and the way that they form different patterns in the sky. I think it's amazing. And I could honestly sit there and watch them for hours if I wasn't then going to have a panic attack and get distressed and have a meltdown and feel physically so painful that I don't know that I'm going to live anymore. Like, that's how bad it can get for me. And that's not me overreacting. That's me being sound sensitive because of my autism. So noise cancelling fireworks. What? I'm thinking of noise cancelling headphones now. Silent fireworks, that's the word I was looking for, are a great alternative to fireworks so that everyone can be included and inclusive in this time of year. Well, a story for you. I was singing at someone's wedding, I believe it was last year or the year before, I can't quite remember, and I didn't realise they were going to have fireworks at the end of the evening. And I hadn't brought ear defenders or headphones or anything, and I was slowly panicking that it's going to be so loud and I'm going to get distressed and I'm not going to cope. Now thankfully someone had a spare pair of ear defenders that I could borrow, and I thought, yay, I'll get to stand with everyone and watch the fireworks and join in and enjoy it without having the pain that the fireworks cause because of the loud noise. So I put these ear defenders on and I stand with everyone, and the first one goes off and it feels like I've been shot in the stomach, and that is not an overreaction. That is an understatement. So I start walking back towards the car park, which is a good, I don't know, a minute or two walk away. And I keep walking backwards and they're getting worse and worse. And I eventually make it to this car park. I'm wrapped in a blanket because it was cold. And I've got these ear defenders on and I'm standing in this car park going, this is too much, this is too much. Getting really stressed, getting really distressed, getting really anxious and overwhelmed, to the point where I'm then having a panic attack. I'm getting so overwhelmed and overstimulated that I go into a meltdown, and no one knows because I've just come to this car park by myself. Thankfully people eventually found me and then opened their car so I could sit in their car, so the noise was dampened again. But even then it was still a lot for me to handle as an autistic person that is sensitive to sounds. And so actually, if they had silent fireworks, it would still have the same effect, right? I don't necessarily think that the noise is what makes a firework so great. It's the look of the firework. Because imagine if a firework went off and your eyes were closed. Well, that's rubbish, isn't it? That's no fun. Well, imagine if you were able to see a firework, but you couldn't hear them. It would still look amazing. And if people were to use silent fireworks, then neurodivergent people would be able to join in with something that actually they would probably really enjoy and really love. And our furry friends would not get so distressed at this time of year. So it's just something I beg you to consider. Obviously, today is the 5th of November, but you never know when you're going to have fireworks again in the year, or even for next fireworks night. Something to consider, just to be a little kinder to your neurodivergent friends. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Thankfully, no fireworks have gone off in the making of this video because I can't really wear ear defenders and film a video at the same time. Anyway, if you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video, and I'll catch you next week.